This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone. Uh, Good morning. Yesterday, we
Good
have
morning.
discussed about the very good morning. So yesterday we have discussed about the what is meant by Angular and what are all the important features in the Angular, and we have discussed about the what are all the different features in the Angular, different features, and we have discussed about the difference between the website and web application. So in this session, like we are going to discuss about the local development setup. I mean, if you want to write the Angular code, I mean, we need to have the some particular set of softwares. So we are going to see the like what are the softwares required and like I mean how to install all those softwares. So in this today's class, we'll see like software installation, software installation, our local environment setup. So next, like we'll go to the, I mean, we'll create the Angular application. I mean, once the software setup was done, so I mean, I'll show you the how to create the sample Angular application. So next, like we'll discuss about the structure of the Angular application. I mean, once if you create the Angular project, like we'll be having the lot of files. So we'll be discussing about the like I mean, what exactly it does. Like I mean, each and every file. I mean, what is the purpose of the each and every folder or I mean each and every file. So next, like we'll be discussing about the uh, what is component in Angular and what is module in Angular. So in today's class, like we are going to cover, I mean, all these things. Like the first one is the software installation, and the next one is like once the softwares are installed, we are going to see the, I mean, how to create the your first Angular application. So next we are going to discuss about the structure of the Angular application. Next, like we'll be discussing about the what is component and what is module in Angular. So most of the interviews, like they will be asking about the all these things, like I mean, how to create the Angular application. I mean, what is the structure and what are all the different folders available in the Angular application, and what is component? I mean, what is the definition of the component in Angular application, and what is the definition of the module in Angular? So the first thing, like, so before we are going to start this software installation, we'll see like what are all the software required for our Angular application. So first one is like we need to have the Node.js. Sir, here what is meant by Node.js? Basically, Node.js is it's a JavaScript runtime engine. So we'll be using the Node.js to write the server side JavaScript code. I mean, which is mainly used to create the backend APIs, which will interact with the database. But like in an Angular application, like we are not going to do all those things. But if you want to run the Angular application, so we should have the Node.js installed in our machine. So we'll see. And next one, like we'll be having the Node package manager. Now we'll see like how to install the Node.js in your machine, like in your machine or in your laptop. Let me open the new tab here. So search for Node.js, Node.js download. So click on enter. So once if you enter, like here you can see https nodejs.org download. So just click on the download. So here you can see the lot of options, like we can download the Node.js for Windows, Mac, or Linux. But like currently, like I am using the Windows. So if anyone is using Mac or Linux, they can select their respective options here. So currently, like I am using the Windows 64-bit machine. So basically, most of our laptops, or like most of the desktops, like will be installing with the 64-bit. So now I'm using the Windows, right? So I'll just go to this 64-bit. I'll just click on this one, 64-bit. So once if I click on this 64-bit, no, here you can see like the download gets started. So once this download is completed, so I'll show you the how to install Node.js. So I'll double click on this one. I think still it is downloading. Yeah, it is completed. So once if you click on this one, so you can see this one. Welcome to Node.js setup wizard. Please click on the next. So here what happened was like already I have installed the Node.js. So that's why like it is showing the change, repair, or the remove. Like I'll just click on this one, change. If you're downloading for the first time, like you won't get this. Like we can click on the next for the continuation. So so we'll be once you click on the next, like we'll be getting the this screen. So just click. Don't change anything here. Just click on next. So click on next. So it will install, like it will take like 1 to 2 minutes, and it will install. Because like already there is Node.js running in my machine. That's why like it just finished within like 5 to 10 seconds. But it is just similar to the normal Windows installation, like normal Windows software installation. So I have downloaded and I have installed the Node.js, right? Now I need to check whether Node.js is installed in my machine or not. How can we check? For that, what we'll do, I'll do was like just here, go to the search and search for the command line, command prompt. Click on open. See here we can just type the node hyphen version. So you see, we can see like we got the output as a version as 16. This is the latest version. So sometimes no, if it is not installed in your machine, no, it will throw error like Node.js is not a recognized command, or it is not an internal command kind of thing. So once if you've done the installation, so we can see this one, node hyphen version. So next, Node.js installation was done. So next we need to check for the npm. Npm is nothing but Node Package Manager. So once if you install the Node.js, automatically npm will get installed with the Node.js. I will check the npm hyphen version. See, I have the npm also. Guys, any doubt until here? I just showed you the like how to install Node.js. No questions, right?
No questions.
Okay. So next like we will discuss about the sir what is npm. So npm is nothing but Node Package Manager. Node Package Manager. Anyone is having idea about the npm? Can someone explain about the npm? So sir, why do you need the npm? Anyone having any idea about this one? Node Package Manager.
npm having a packages from where we can import or install in our application and use that packages.
Yes, yeah, correct, Rishikesh. So npm is nothing but like we can consider this as a one Play Store. For example, if you take your smartphone, no, like we'll be having the Google Play Store, right? In a similar way, so npm is it's a library where we can have the lot of lot of plugins, or like lot of third-party libraries. We can consider it as a node Play Store. Like, for example, let me show you here. I'll just click on npm. So we can consider this is one kind of the Play Store where we can search for the different packages. For example, if you are going to develop the Angular projects, like we need to depend some third-party libraries. For example, I just want to add the Bootstrap plugin to my application. So I will search for the my plugin, like whatever the plugin I want. So I'll just click on this Bootstrap. So here like I can install by using the npm. So Node Package Manager here hi means install and the package name, like, so I want the bootstrap, that's why this is the basic command. So we have a lot of packages in, for example, I want to install, for example, body parser. So this is the one package like we'll be using in the backend. So in the similar way, if you want to install the multiple packages, so this is, I mean, we'll be installing using the npm. So by after installing the node.js, we have the both node.js and npm in our machine. So next we need to have the Angular CLI. Sir, what is meant by the Angular CLI? So Angular CLI is nothing but Angular command line interface. So here you can see it's a command line interface. And if you want to, I mean, create the Angular project, if you want to create the sample Angular project, we need to use the command line interface. So basically, because like it is having a lot of files and a lot of folders, so I mean, it is very difficult to create manually. That's why we are going to use the Angular CLI. So if you want to, I mean, how to install the Angular CLI into your machine, just go to this one, Google, and search for the Angular CLI. Just type, I mean, type the Angular CLI in the Google, so you will get the this first one, Angular.io CLI overview. Here you can see the command. So I want to install the Angular CLI to my machine. So here you can see npm, like if you want to install any packages, I told you, right, we need to use the npm. So next, like we need to write the command, like we are going to install, right, npm install. Here, I mean, what does this mean? -g. This is a one kind of flag. So now I want to install the Angular CLI globally in my machine. I mean, global in the sense like we can run Angular CLI command from my from entire machine. I mean, I can uh, I can use the Angular CLI from anywhere in my machine. For example, if I want to use the Angular CLI from the particular folder only, for example, in the desktop I have one folder. If I want to use the Angular CLI from that particular folder only, so no need to use this global. I mean -g. So next one is the package name. But like I mean, it is good to install the Angular CLI globally. So it is the best practice. So I mean, we can create the project folders in the multiple allocations and we can use it. So I'll just click on this one. It will copy, like it will copy this command npm install -g Angular CLI. Now I'll go to command line. I'll just paste it here by clicking the right click. So npm install -g Angular CLI. So this is clear, right? I mean, npm install. So I mean, I want to install the one package. Install -g. This is the one flag. I just want to install the Angular CLI globally. That's why I'm providing the -g. And the next one is the package name. So for Angular CLI, we need to use the @Angular-CLI. So it will install the Angular CLI to our machine. So I think it will take like 1 to 2 minutes. Meanwhile, like we'll see the other software. So next we need to have the basic editor. So if you want to write the, I mean, HTML, CSS, and the TypeScript code, so we need to have the one editor. So currently, like I mean, most of the developers like will be using the Visual Studio Code. I mean, if you are familiar with the other editor, means you can download and you can start writing the code by using that particular editor. So I'm going to show you the how to download the VS Code. So just search on the Visual Studio Code. Let me check whether still it is installing. Okay. Uh, so now like you can see this Visual Studio Code, right? You just click on this download thing. So here also you can see the different options. So I mean, one is for Windows and this is for the Linux, Debian, and RPM systems. And we can see the, I mean, download options for the Mac also. Now like I mean, my machine is 64-bit, right? So I'll click on 64-bit. So once if you click on the 64-bit, no, so we can see like it got started downloading. So meanwhile, like we'll check this one Angular CLI. So you can see like, I mean, two packages are, it is like found zero vulnerabilities and it is installed. So how, I mean, I added 48 packages and removed 118 packages. It is got installed Angular CLI. So now I can check like just by typing the ng. Yeah, ng is nothing but you can consider it as an Angular. So once, I mean, if I want to check whether the Angular CLI is installed in our machine or not, for that just click on the ng. So we'll get some commands like related to the this ng. So ng add or ng build, ng deploy, like these are the different actions or the different commands we can use with the Angular CLI. So now we have installed the Angular CLI also. So next, like we have downloaded the VS Code. Like let me run this one. Swaroop, can you please go on mute? We are getting some noise. I'll just click on the accept the agreement, license agreement. Click on the next. Click on the next. So it will install. Guys, everyone is clear with the software setup. So if you have any questions, you can ask now. So next we will move to the creating the Angular application. So it's a very easy. Just we need the Node.js, Angular CLI, and one editor. It can be Notepad, Notepad++, or Visual Studio Code, Atom. So for example, if you people are struggling to download any other editor, you can just ping me in WhatsApp. So we'll be replying to that. So now just click on the finish. So we can see like Visual Studio Code was also installed. So next step. So we have done this first part, like software installation. So now I just want to create the Angular application. So creating the Angular app. So basically I told you, right, if you want to create the Angular application, we need to use the Angular command line interface. So we are going to create the Angular application by using the Angular command line interface. For that, like we need to execute the one command called like ng new and the project name. So like if you want to create one project, so for example ng new, I can consider this project name as a sample project. So I'll show you. I'll create one folder here. Angular application. So you can create any folder. You can name it anything. I'm just naming it as an Angular application. So inside this, inside this folder, I want to create the my Angular project. So I just created one folder called Angular application. Inside this one, I want to create the Angular project. So for that, what I will do means like if you want to create the Angular application, we are going to use the command prompt. For that, like so just select this one. Just click on this one here. uh, just enter the cmd. So sir, why I am entering the cmd here means like I want to open the command line from this particular location. This particular location means like I was in the D drive. Inside the D drive I have created the folder called Angular application. I want to open the command line from this particular location. That's why I'm writing the cmd and just click on the enter. So you can see like it is in F drive, Angular application folder. Now inside this, I want to create the Angular project. So that's why I have entered the CMD from here. So now I'll see like ng new, and I'll give them my project name as like sample application. Sample application. So after giving the project name, just click on the enter. I mean, for this installing or like for creating the Angular project, like it will take some time. So here, I mean, you can see the, would you like to add the Angular routing? So basically, so Angular routing is the, like one of the important concept, where if you want to navigate from the one page to another page, so we'll be using the routing concept in the Angular. So we are going to discuss about the routing in the further classes. For now, you just click on enter Y. So I mean, I just want to add the Angular routing to my project. So next, here, like it will be asking for the which style sheet format would you like to use. So basically, I mean, if you want to add the styling, we'll be using the CSS in our normal projects. But like for this, like we are going to write the SCSS. Sir, what is meant by SCSS? So SCSS is a advanced version of the CSS. We can consider it as a CSS preprocessor. So I mean, we'll be discussing all these things in the further classes, because I mean, if I explain everything now, means like you will get confused. That's why, like, please just select the SCSS. Now just click on the enter. So it will, so you can see the lot of files. So like it will start creating the Angular project. Okay. Any questions until here? It guys, it is very easy. So learning the Angular is very easy than like other technologies. So it is very easy, and like the basic thing was like you just need to know the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. If you know the basics of the HTML and CSS and JavaScript, definitely like you can definitely become the Angular. I mean Angular developer or like UI developer. Where like nowadays, if you see, like if we have that 2 years experience, like we have a lot of openings. We have, I mean, if you, for example, if you have the experience between like 2 to 7 years or 2 to 9 years, there are a lot of openings in the Angular. So once if you learn the Angular, and I mean, if you're applying for the jobs, you'll get the lot of openings. And one more thing, guys, like I just want to inform to everyone was like, so if you want to learn the any technology or anything, right? So you need to do the lot of practice. So whenever if you do the lot of practice only, so you can remember, and you can get you can do the things very easily. So for example, I'm just explaining the classes every day, but like I mean, if you're not doing the practice, means like there is no use. So for example, if you see this one, no? Sometimes we will think what year, like we can do these things easily by seeing the video after 1 week or 10 days, right? No, I mean, you can do, but it is not going to be very easy. So if you do the, like, I mean, whatever the classes I'll hold on the same day, will helps you to practice very easily. And like if you get some errors also, you can resolve your own. I mean, that is what just I just want to give some suggestion to you people. So I mean, whenever if you're learning not only this Angular, I mean not only this technology, wherever. So before you are going to learn any technology, is just focus on like so I mean what is the current market on this particular technologies, and what I mean what are all the different companies offering this job, and I mean, what are all the you can say like what are all the topics or the concepts we're going to learn. So we should focus on all those things. So one more thing, like no, I mean, I just want to. So after I mean completion of every class, no. So I'll send a video, and I just want to post you some Angular questions on our group. For example, today we have discussed about this particular class, right? So I just want to post you the some interview questions related to the today's session, so that like you can. So I will post the questions, and I'll ask to come up with the answers. I mean, everyone is having like their own ideas, right? So you can share the answers if there is any mistake in the answers, or I mean, how can you explain the same, I mean, your answers to the interviewer, means like I can help you on that. So it is taking some more time. So I mean, because like it will be having a lot of files, right? So it will be taking some more time. Learning the technology is very easy, but the main thing was like we need to do the lot of practice. Then only, you can crack the any kind of job interview. So now we can see this. Project was created successfully. So now I'll go to the folder, this project folder. See, now I was in F drive. We just created the Angular application. So next I want to, we have created the project name as a sample application, right? So I'll just open this one. So you see here, you can see the like lot of files in the Angular application. Like I will explain like all these things, like what exactly it does and how it is going to help for whenever you're doing the development. So we have created the project. Now I just want to run my project. For that, what I will do was like now we are in Angular application folder, right? So if you want to run your project, we should move to the project folder. So CD. I just want to move one step to the my project folder CD. And what is my project name? Sample application, right? I'll just enter. I'll just type the sample and click on that tab. So now we are in the our Angular application folder. So now if we want to run the Angular application, we need to use the one more command called ng-serve. So it will runs the Angular application in our browser. So here it will be, we got this one, right? Click on yes. So in today's session, like we have learned the two commands: creating the Angular application and running the guys. These are very important commands. We are using daily basis, like we'll be using the all these commands in our day-to-day work. So in the interviews also they will ask how to create the Angular application and what are the different commands. Can you please explain me about the commands? So running the Angular application. So ng serve. See, so once if you run the Angular applications, no, what it will does was like it will compiles and it will create some bundle files. We have the lot of files, right? Lot of the files in the Angular application, right? So it will compiles and it will converts the TypeScript to the JavaScript and it will provide the like different files like vendor.js, polyfills. So we'll be discussing these things in the further classes. So and it will compiles to the it will compiles and it will bundles to the different files and we'll be adding these files in the index.html. So next here you can see Angular live development storage listening on the localhost 4.0. Open your browser and HTTP localhost 4200. So once if you run this particular compiles and it will start the Angular application using this particular port. For example, just copy this one, localhost 4200, and I'll I'll paste in the browser. So localhost 4200, right? See, so we can see this is the sample Angular application provided by the Angular. So for this to get this page, like they have written a lot of code. So I will explain about this. Sir, how this page is getting loaded and all those things. So until the year, like everyone is. So in guys, it is very easy. We have installed the software. Next like I have created the one folder. Inside that folder I have created the Angular application by using the ng new and project names. For project name I have given the sample application, right? You can give any name so it will accept. So next, like we have seen the ng, we are running the Angular application by using the ng serve. So we have done with to do like software installation and local environment setup and creating the Angular application. It is very easy, guys. So next we'll see the structure of the Angular application. So we have seen like there are a lot of files installed in the project, right? So now go to Visual Studio Code. So once if you install, no, you can get this kind of notes. So just close this one. So I want to I want to load the my Angular project to the Visual Studio Code. How to do that? Just click on the file. Just click on the open folder. So now I have saved my project in the F drive, right? I'll just click on the F drive, and this is the folder I have created, Angular application, and this is the my Angular Enter project sample application, right? Just select this folder and click on the select folder. I mean, if you get this, warning kind of pop-up, just click on the yes, I trust the others. So we'll see one by one, like one by one, like what are all the folders in present here. So for the first thing, like for example, like we'll start. This is the Visual code. This is the this .vs code. Like this is not related to the Angular project. Like which is mainly used. If you want to add some extensions to this Visual Studio Code, or like for example, if you want to do this launch.json, if you want to do the debugging in the particular files, so we are going to use this one, like this launch.js and task.js, so these are not related to our project, and we can simply ignore this one. This Angular dot catchy, this Angular Webpack and Babel Webpack is mainly used to compile our Angular test code, and it will build the Angular application into the smaller files. So we are going to use those small files in the index.html. So this is for the compiling and building the Angular applications. So we are not going to do anything with this Angular.catchy and the VS Code. So next one is like we have the node modules. So what does it does node modules? Basically, if you want to run the Angular application, so sorry guys, if you want to, this node modules, right? If you want to run our Angular application in our local machine, or if it is go to the development server or the production environment, so we need to have the some dependencies, some files, are like we need to have the some packages. So all those packages will be going under the node modules. For example, we have the Angular and the Angular Dev Kit and Babel CSS tools. So whenever if you install the particular package, it will installed in the node modules folder. Sir, like, are you going to make any changes in the this particular folder? Means like we are not going to touch this folder. So this folder is mainly used to handle the all the packages and all the libraries so required for our Angular application. So, is this clear? Anyone is having doubt until these three?
No doubt.
Okay. So next we'll be having the RC folder, right? This is where like we are going to do the our exact development code. Like this is where we are going to write the lot of code into our Angular application. So I'll explain this in detail later, like while discussing about the component and what is assets folder, what is the environment, what is the favicon, and all those things. For now, just understand, like in this folder, like we are going to make the changes, or like we are going to write the our actual code. So most of the times, like we'll be playing around in this particular folder only, src. So this browsers list, no, this one, like it will gives the, like Angular features are going to support like all these features. iOS, this one, Chrome, Firefox, like it is going to support the it will provide all the list of browsers data, so which will support all the Angular features. So next one is editor config. So this is related to the code only. So it will gives the like what is the character set and Indian style and Indian size. So whenever if you're writing the code, right, we need to follow some best practices like what is the character set and how our code indent and Indian size, like we'll be defining the all those definitions here. So this is also we're not going to use. So next one is the git ignore. This is the important thing. So git ignore is, so basically, if you go to the real-time project and whenever if you're working on the complex web project, right, there are multiple Angular developers. So each and everyone will be working on the different pages. For example, let me take Amazon is an example. For example, let us assume like we are going to develop the project. So some people, for example, Ajay is working on this home page, and Akshay is working on some this login page. So people are working like people are dividing the tasks into the different components of different modules, and they will be working on this one. So whenever if you're working the multiple people, so we need to have the one code base where we'll be continuously pushing our code to the GitHub. So guys, anyone is having the idea about the GitHub? Like what is Git or what is GitHub? So any answers, guys? Anyone is having idea about the Git?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Ajay, you
We
can
can save
answer.
all the files, whatever we are doing.
Yeah, what are the files we are going to write, right? We are going to push our code to the Git so that other people can also access it, and their changes they can merge to our code. So what this git ignore will do was, for example, now I don't want this node modules folder to the my git, because like it has lot of size. This is not required. No need to push this particular folder to the node.js. This is just used to run our Angular application in our local machine or the production. If you want, we can download these node modules by using the npm install command. So I mean here what I'll do was like, I am specifying the whatever the files are, the whatever the folders. I just want to ignore. I don't want to commit this my project folders or unwanted files to the Git. To reduce its size or its performance. So we can define all those things here. You can see dependencies, node modules. I don't want to push this code to the GitHub or like Bitbucket or any git repository. So for this I'm going to use the git ignore file. So if I specify here, once if you commit or once if you push your code, it will not move to the git. That's all about the git ignore. So next we have the angular.json. So this particular file was mainly helps to give the configuration about the Angular project application. So this is mainly used while running the command, while running the Angular application, or if you want to build the Angular application, what are the things we need to follow, or if you want to change some configuration style. So we'll be using this angular.json. For example, here we have the assets, right? Assets and styles and the scripts, right? Inside the architect build, and these are different build options. So for example, if I just want to add the bootstrap or some third party plugin to my application. So I can give that bootstrap path here, so like bootstrap css and the bootstrap js paths. So if you want to load the some external libraries, so we put in the angular.json. So most of the times, like, we are not going to touch this one. So if you want to add some additional plugins or additional styles, so we'll be changing this angular.json file. So next one we have the karma.conf.json. This one karma.conf.json is mainly used to write the unit testing. So guys, anyone is having idea about? Okay. So unit testing is nothing but like example, I have written one function. Let me tell you. I have written one function add which will take a comma b. which will returns the output as like I'll return output as like a plus b. So I mean I have just written one function called add. Now I want to write the unit test cases. I mean what is meant by unit testing? Like because I just want to test this function by providing the different values. For example, I have given the values as a comma b is 2 comma 3. For example, I'll call this one here add. Uh, guys, don't worry about this function syntax and all those things. We'll be discussing in the further classes. Add 2 comma 3. For example, I am going to perform this function add 2 comma 3. I need to write the unit test cases because I mean unit test cases are mainly used to the whatever the code we have written, whatever the logic we have written is correct. Just want to check like add 2 comma 3, and this is the one scenario. I mean one scenario we need to write the unit test case. I'll give, for example, add 2 comma I'll give like this. I mean I'll give add null comma 2. I mean, for example, if you write the code, I mean like the code, and if I give like add 2 comma 3, right, so it will works fine. But whereas like I mean if I give null comma 2 or 2 comma some string, so it will not work up. So we need to handle all those things. So we can do, if you want to handle all those things, we can test by writing the unit test cases in your Angular application. So unit test cases are mainly helps to test the functionality, whatever the functionality we have written. This is a small function I'm explaining to it, but in our Angular application we are going to write the unit test cases also. Nowadays companies or project developers or project leads are expecting to write the unit test cases in your project. So for this, like we need to I mean we need to we'll be writing the unit test cases by using the Karma and the Jasmine. Like these are the two different frameworks. This is all the, I mean, that unit testing settings. So next we have the package.log.json and we have the package.json. So first we'll discuss about the package.json. So so in the interviews also they are going to ask you about the what is meant by the package.json. So package.json, it will gives the complete details about the your project. So for example, I'll tell you package.json. So it will gives the complete details about your project. Sir, what kind of details? So it is going to provide the all the details about the your project. Like we'll see here. So here you can see name, like the project name, sample application, and the version. So if you're working for the complex project, so we'll be releasing the features with the different versions like 0.01, or we can name it with the different ways like 1.0.1 or 1.0.02 kind of thing. So name, version, and scripts is mainly used to execute. Like for example, if I want to run the Angular project, what I did was I have done the ng serve, right? So if you write inside the scripts, I can do like npm start, and if I run the npm start, it will execute this particular command. If I run the npm build, it will execute the ng build. So if you want to execute the commands now, we'll be writing inside the scripts. So next, like we'll be having the dependencies. So dependencies means like if you want to run the Angular application, so these are all the plugins, or these are the some additional libraries we are going to install it. So it will be comes under the, this is the dependency name, and this is the version. This is the like exact version. Next, like we have the dev dependencies. Dev dependencies is mainly like we are going to used in the development mode. Sir, what is meant by the development mode? Means, for example, these dependencies are used to develop the Angular application in our local machine. So for in the Angular application, so in our local machine, like we need to have the dev dependencies. For example, if you move to the production or development, so these dev dependencies are not required. So these dependencies will be enough. So in the interview, if someone asks about the so what is meant by the package.json, you can simply answer like so package.json gives the complete details about the project. So I mean, what are the different details? So it will provide the name, version, scripts, dependencies, and the dev dependencies. So we can answer in similar way. So next, like, what is the difference between the package.log.json? So package.log.json, so it is the similar to the package.json only, but what it does was like it will maintains the versions. I mean, for example, now I have the Angular animations, right? For example, after 6 months or 1 year, if I upgraded the Angular animations, right? So it will maintains the its version. So Angular animations is updated from, I mean, 13 to 14. So the main advantage of the package log.json was like it will maintains the dependencies versions. That's it. So next, like we'll go to readme. Like this is the, if you want to explain something about their project, means like how to run the Angular application, how to install. So we'll be using this readme file. So next, we have the tsconfig app.json. Although this tsconfig app.json mainly used for the TypeScript compilations. I mean, so once if you run the ng no, it is compiling, right? It is compiling and it is transforming like TypeScript to the JavaScript, right? So for that configurations, we are going to use the tsconfig app.json and this tsconfig.json. So like compiler options, I mean, what is the like output directory, and like what is the strict and what is the no impulse in, and these are the Angular compile options. So here you can see like whether you are going to use the ES2017 and what is the module and what are the libraries. So this is all related to the TypeScript configurations. So I mean, we are not going to do anything with this one tsconfig. Most of the times, like we are not going to change these properties. So this is pick.json is for the unit test cases. If you want to write, if you want, well, if you change anything in the tsconfig, it will updates here also. Guys, it's clear? Anyone having any doubts?
Sir, can you explain the
Yeah.
difference between package JSON and Angular JSON?
So JSON is mainly used. I mean, used to describe about our project. I mean, our project, like so what is the project name and project version, and what is the, I mean, scripts we are going to run, and what are all the dependencies required for our project. So Angular JSON, it will describes about the, for example, it will describes about the Angular application. I mean, this is the basic details about our project. If you want to run our project, means we need to have the package.json, and whatever the dependencies, dev dependencies will be describing in the package.json. But Angular.json, if you want to add the some third-party library, so we are going to defining inside this Angular.json. Like we'll be providing that plugin path here. And one more thing, like no, once if you run the build, for example, I mean my project development was completed, and I will run the ng build. So once if I click on the ng build, so it will compile, right? It will compile, and it will it will create the one folder inside, like inside the dist folder. Like it will creates one dist folder, and it will create our Angular application, and it will consider like what is the main, I mean, what is the root index file, and what is the main source to trigger the Angular application, and what are the fields and the ts config. So it will takes the Angular application configurations, whether if you want to build or test, if you want to write the ng serve, and what are the styles we are going to use. So all these details we are going to use in the Angular.json. Whereas package.json, it just gives like I mean, if you're going to start the new project, right, it will just gives name, version, and the scripts and the dependencies. Is this clear, Rishikesh?
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. So if someone asks about the Angular.json, no, you can simply tell, sir, Angular.json is mainly used to add the third-party libraries. I mean, if you want to provide the path of the particular third-party library, we can use it. And if you want to change the, I mean, build configuration or the unit testing configuration, so we'll be making the changes in the Angular.json. So you can answer in this way, so the interview will be satisfied. So this is, this is all about the, structure of the Angular application. Now we will see the like SRC folder.
Sir, what is E2E?
Uh, Yeah, so E2E basically, even like I was under E2E, E2E was missing. E2E is mainly used for writing the end-to-end test cases. Let me show you here. Yeah. Yeah, this one. So if you want to create the end-to-end test cases, so we'll be using the E2E folder. So basically, developers, like, we are not going to write the end-to-end test cases. Basically, QA people will be writing the end-to-end test cases. Sir, like, what is the difference between the unit test cases and the end-to-end test cases, sir? So unit test cases, like, we are going to write the test cases for the each and every function, like the in, I have showed you, right, for the additional function, and for each and every blocks, like, we are going to write the unit test cases. For end-to-end test cases, what it will does was, so for example, I have the let me open this one. So for example, I have this Amazon. So end-to-end test cases will be writing using the protractor and the Selenium driver. So most of the times QA people will be writing the end-to-end test cases. So in end-to-end test cases, they will write the automation script. They will write the automation script using the protractor. So once if they execute the end-to-end test case, it will, it will automatically, it will takes the username, it will take the username, and it will, once it will automatically clicks to this button, and it will go to the dashboard or home page. It will test the entire application. Whereas unit test cases, like, we'll be writing for the single file, and we'll be testing whether the test case was passed or not. Whereas end-to-end test cases, it will once if you write the automation script, it will record the entire this it will open the application in the new browser, and it will records the entire flow of the application. So uh, in end-to-end test case helps whenever if you're having the complex web application, and if you have the multiple flows, like multiple pages, we are redirecting from the one page to another pages. So it is used to test the whether we are providing the proper data, like, is there any errors. So which is mainly used for the end-to-end testing, is mainly used for the entire project testing.
Thank you, sir.
So if you, recently, Angular developers also, we can write the end-to-end test cases by using the protractor and by setting the Chrome Selenium Chrome WebDriver. So like now, like, we have done with the structure of the Angular application. Now, like, we'll see this component and the module in the tomorrow's class. What is component and what is module in the tomorrow's class. And meanwhile, what I'll do was, like, I'll show you this SRC folder. I'll explain about this SRC folder now. Guys, anyone is having idea about it, like, how the Angular application will compiles? For example, what is meant by the compile, or like, here, I just ran the ngserve command, right? Ngserve. After that, it compiles and it builds. So we can see the this local 4200, right? Anyone is having the any idea about, like, how it is getting compiled, and how like we are getting this home page? Sorry.
Sir, can I
Because,
answer?
like, yeah, you can answer, Rushkesh.
Yeah, mainly in this Angular, we have once we render on browser, if any like localhost 4200, then there are two
Yes.
files are coming. One is JS file and one is HTML file. That HTML file all having that view part, and that JS file having that all the logic which we have write in the source code. So
Okay.
that all rendering here. Actually, there is a one main.ts file in our application that convert to
Yes,
main.js and
correct.
coming here.
Correct. Yeah, correct, Rishikesh. Like, whatever you told was, like, exactly correct. Yeah. So I'll explain in detail. So once if you expand this folder SRC, so we'll be having the main.ts. This is the root file which triggers the Angular application. Compilation process starts. So this is the main.ts. I'll show you this. See, this is the src folder, right? So inside the src, so we have the app and we have the assets environments. No, the first step was the main.ts files. So from the main.ts, next it will come to the app.module. From the app.module, it will comes to the app.component. So next it will come to the app.component and the app.component css. We'll see like how the flow, like how it will move from the main.ts to the app module here. So whenever the if you run the ngserv, so first it will comes to the execution will start, compilation will start from this main.ts. So in the main.ts, so here you can see platform browser dynamic bootstrap module. So I mean, if you take the any Angular application, so we should have the one root module. I mean, let me explain this one. So each and every Angular application should have the one root module and one root component. So if you take like if you take any Angular application, so we'll be having the one root module and the one root component. Sir, my next question was like, sir, what is meant by the module and what is meant by the component? So module is nothing but like we can consider it as a one container. Module is nothing but it is a container, or you can consider it as a one kind of box. Sir, what exactly it means? Like what exactly the container means? So mod is nothing but, for example, let me take the e-commerce is an application. So e-commerce is an Angular application. Now, I mean, if you want to write the code for the e-commerce, first we need to uh, first we need to difference the, need to create the different modules. I mean, what we call, we need to divide the entire e-commerce application into the different modules. For example, let me take the, different modules in the e-commerce application. For example, I have one registration module, and I have the dashboard module. I have the products module. I have orders module. So we can divide the e-commerce application into the different modules, like reach module. So sir, what does, like it will takes care of the it will takes care of the login and the sign up. So so this registration module will be having the two components. One is called the login component, another one is called the sign up component. So in the Angular definition, we can say, so module is nothing but the collection of the components, like collection of components and the directives and the services. Guys, don't worry. I mean, if you are unable to follow now, means don't worry. Like I'm going to explain about the Angular architecture, how the module will be. How the module will be looks like, and what are all the different options available for the module. Now I'm just explaining in the high level. So it is a container or the box. I mean, why I have told it is container, right? So in the each module, like we will be different components and the directives and services. So I'll be we have taken e-commerce application, right? So e-commerce application, I have created one module called registration module. So it will be takes care of the login and the sign up. For example, Amazon, so they have created the one registration module, so it can be reusable for the multiple applications. For example, if you take the Amazon, they have the a lot of products available in the products available in the Amazon. So Amazon, for example, if you want to shopping, we need to do the login and sign up, right? So we can use the same login and sign up credentials for the Amazon Prime, or like if you want to work on the AWS, like Amazon Cloud Services. So we can use the same login and the sign up module. So there is no need to write the different code. That's why like they will be dividing this as one module. So next, like we can divide the application into the dashboard module. So I just want to show the all the dashboard, the list of products, and how the dashboard looks like. And I just want to handle the product module. So which will handles the all the details about the products, all the details about products. So it will be having the multiple components again. I just want to add my product to the cart. I just want to proceed with the buy. I just want to my product to the wish list. So all this functionality will comes to the products module. Next, like we have the orders module. So orders module, like it will get the list of orders and whatever the payment we are going to do. So we are going to divide our Angular application to the different module. Sir, my next question, sir, who is going to decide, or like who is going to divide these modules? Means like we'll be having the architect, like UI architect, or like UI lead for to do this one. So for each and every module, like for each and everything, like we'll be having the documentation. Don't worry about. So once if you go to the real-time projects, or do I need to do all those things? Means initially you are not. So once if you start gaining the experience, like if you have 5 to 7 years experience, so sometimes like there might be chances of they will ask you to write the code for the particular module. So in that module, like you need to come up with sir. So in this module we sorry guys, I missed for 2 seconds. So we need to have the different components and the different directives. So you will be deciding once if we have the like 5 years or 7 years experience. But initially, like the project architect or project will take care of it, and he will assign. So registration model, Ajay and Akshay, please work on the registration model. Please create the two components kind of thing. So we'll be having the documentation for the everything. So for next, like for example, Swarup and Rishikesh, we people work on the dashboard module. So in the dashboard module, like we have the 5 components and the 5 directives. Please work on this module. So this is how they will assign the work in the real-time project. So this is, this is all about like a high-level view of the module. So in the Angular perspective, like I'll explain in the later classes, like how exactly module looks like. So each and every Angular application should have the one root module and the one root component. This is clear, right? Any questions on the module? Okay. No, I didn't get any response from you guys. Okay, next, like we'll see this one. Sir, like here we can see that like different lines in here, like import prod mode, like we are importing this from the Angular core. So basically what it does was like it will check whether we are running the Angular application in the production mode or the development mode. Sir, what is difference between the development mode and the production mode? So if the application development was completed, we need to deploy our Angular application to the production mode. Sir, what does this mean? Production mode means, like for example, we are using this Amazon website, right? Amazon.in, right? So once they completed the entire features and everything, each and every functionality, so they will deploy this application to the production. So production in the sense, so public can use their application. So they will deploy and they will provide one URL kind of thing, like https amazon.in. So this is called the production. So once the application is ready, means they will make the application available to the public. Sir, how it helps here means like so if the environment that production is set to, so we are asking the Angular application to run the production mode. sir, what happens if you run the Angular application in the production mode was, so it will compress the application in the production mode, and it will provide the bundles with the less size, whereas in the local it will not. So this is the difference between the enabling the application in the production mode, and the if we don't enable it to the production mode, like we'll be having a lot of bundle size in our local environment. So it needs some additional development dependencies. So we are just importing, like, guys, no need to change anything here. So this is the basic import statement, and this is the package name from, like, this is the what we can call it as it is a function or a class name, and we are importing from the Angular core. And next one, platform browser dynamic. So this platform browser dynamic mainly used to initiate this bootstrapping, means like if you want to start the Angular application, so we need to have one trigger, right? So this platform browser dynamic, which will enable us to start our app module, and whenever if you make the changes, automatically the changes will reflect in the browser. So this platform browser dynamic will take care of all those things. So this is the next import. So next one, like, we have the app module. I told you, right? If you take any Angular application, we'll be having the one root module, right? This root module was created, see, inside src. Inside the src we have the app folder, right? App folder, like we can see app.module.ts. We are just importing, like, import app module from /app/app.module. This is the Angular module looks like this. So I'll explain, like, what exact ng module and all those things in tomorrow's class. So for now, like, we'll concentrate on main.ts. So we are installing the app.module, and we are importing one more file called environment. So from this is from environment.ts. So let me go to this one. So here you can see, like, currently we have one object like environment. It has one property called production. For now, like, I am using the production as a false. So the production is false means it is running in the development mode. So we are importing it. So here the environmental production is false, right? This condition will not run, so it will omit this one. So next, what it will does was platform browser dynamic bootstrap module. So I told you, right, we should have one module. So next, from the main.ts, it will move to the app.module.ts page. So if you see in the slide also, so the first step was main.ts. Next, we'll move to the app.module.ts. So in the app.module.ts, like, this is the basic syntax. Basic syntax uh, to create the Angular module. Guys, I'll explain, like, all these details: ng module, what is imports, what is declaration, providers, bootstrap in the tomorrow's class. So next here, like, this is the basic ng module decorator, right? Next, it will comes to this array, bootstrap array. Some bootstrap, so it will check, like, what is the root component. We have discussed, right? We should have one root module and one root component. So next, it will move to the app component. So this is the root component. So we are importing this app component by using, like, import. This is the component class name and the folder name. See here, inside the app folder, we have the app component.ts, right? See here, you can see app component. This is the class name. For example, here I'll change this app component components to the app components. I'll save this one. Now I'll go to the app.module.ts. See here you can see the error, because, like, I have changed the class name. So in the app.component.ts, I have given the class name as app components, right? That's why it is throwing the error. So this class name should be the same for this import statement, like import app component from the path is, like, it is in the same folder, like, that's why I have given /app component. So it will start bootstrapping, and it will goes to the app component. Now I'll go to the app component. This is the basic structure of the Angular component. So guys, I'll explain, like, what is this @@ component, and what is this class export, and what is the import thing, like, in tomorrow's class. So next, like, from here, See, we can see we have the one app root, right? This is called one selector, or we can consider this as a one custom HTML element. So this app dot root dot we are going to use in the index.html. See here, like we are going to use the app dot root, right? So from next app dot component, app dot module, it will comes to the app dot component. So from app dot component, like we'll be placing that selector in the index.html. So this component will be having the template and the styling. So for each and every component, like we'll be having the one HTML file, one CSS file, and the one unit testing file. See, if you see, this is the one component. So we are having the HTML, CSS, and the unit testing file and the class file. I mean, what are the logic we are going to write? All those things will come under the this TypeScript class. So from app root, so if you see in the app.component.html, we have this lot of the styles and everything. Right? I'll do one thing. I'll select all. I'll just change. I'll just write one paragraph element h1. So welcome to Hyderabad. So just if I have changed the content right now, I'll go to the browser and I'll check localhost 4200. So you see here, you can see the, I mean, we have removed everything. I just replaced with the one heading like welcome to Hyderabad. So we can see automatically browser compiles and we see the changes in the browser immediately. See here, I'll show you the command line. See, I mean, we have changed the right. So again, like it was compiled and it is showing like what are the changes in the browser. So this is all about the how the compilation works in the Angular. So guys, this is very one of the very important question. So for the beginners or like for the experienced people also will ask. So I mean, can you please explain me the how the Angular application how the Angular application compilation starts, or how the Angular flow starts? So first it will comes from the main.ts. Next it
Yes.
will come to the app.module. Next
After
it will
that,
come to
module.
the app component. Guys, clear about this one? Are any questions on this one?
Sir, you missed the index.html part, sir.
Yeah, index.html, I told you, right? Index.html, we are going to use the selector. I mean, we are going to use this particular cell. I told you, right? We can consider this as a one custom HTML element. Angular index.html will understand this is one app root as a custom HTML element. So I'll go to index.html. So I have explained this also, app root. For example,
Sir, I
if I
have,
change
okay, yeah, I got it, sir. Sir, I have
yeah,
one more question, sir. So,
yes,
can we change the default app module to another module? Like, I want to insert the dashboard module initially, or can I change the default app component to the login component? Can we do like that, sir?
yeah, we can do, Rishikesh. We can change that. For example, now I have given the apps root, right? Yeah, we can do that, Rishikesh. But the main thing was like we need to provide the whatever the root module you want to load. The first was we need to provide inside the main.ts file, so it will load that particular module.
Okay, okay, got it, sir, got it.
So once if you change, for example, change here to login module.
Login,
So for this, we need to create the login module and we need to
import as
import
well.
here login. So it will works. It will works in that way.
Okay, so in that way, can we can change the default component also, sir?
Yeah, we can do that. For the component, what we need to do. So you told right, you are going to create the one login module, right? So inside the
Yes.
login module, like similar to in the login module also, we'll be having the bootstrap. So we can change the another component. So by default, we are using the app component as a root component. You can change the component you want.
So bootstrapping means like loading the our component, initial component, sir.
Correct, exactly. So bootstrapping is nothing but so it is going to start the our root component. If someone asks
Yeah.
like what is meant by the bootstrapping means, like you can consider like this, it is the starting point or entry point for our Angular application. I mean, we have another bootstrap, right? Like that is the framework. That is a framework
Yeah,
mainly used
bootstrap.
for the responsiveness. That is the CSS framework. See, now what I did was, instead of the apps route, I have changed this to the apps route. Now I'll go to the browser and I'll see whether we get the
It
output or
won't
not.
work.
I think I haven't saved this one. No, it should not work, right? Why it is working? See, I'll right click. I'll select the inspect. I'll go to this console. See here, you can see the error because like we have given the different selector. This, I mean, the selector output did not match any elements, so we have given the different selector. That's why we got this error. So basically, if you want to do the debugging in the, I mean, web applications, means like we just need to click on the right click and select the inspect, and elements means like it will shows the like all the code whatever we have written in our application. Like it will comes for the particular file or particular page. So console, next if you go to the console, you can see the all the errors.
Sir, I have
So
one
now,
more question, sir.
yeah, tell me.
Karthik, sir, this is Karthik, sir. So,
Yeah, got it.
like, is there any separate resource allocated for this end-to-end process, end-to-end testing, sir?
So separate allocations in the sense, for example, if you
Separate
want
resource for
to,
QA.
yeah, for QA people, like we need to install the Selenium Chrome driver, and
Okay.
if they want to start the end-to-end test cases for QA people, no, so they should know about the basics about the protractor,
Okay.
how the protractor. They should have the basic idea about the protractor,
Sir,
and so if
for
yeah,
for
tell me.
unit test cases, we have to develop that code. For the end-to-end case, they will develop this end-to-end process, sir.
Yeah, correct. For unit test cases, like developers are going to write the unit test cases by using the Karma and the Json framework. For end-to-end test cases, QA people are going to write the by using the protractor and the Selenium web.
Okay, got it, sir. Got it, sir. Thanks, sir.
So I mean, this is all about the basic Angular application. Guys, please watch the video at the end of the day only, so that you can easily understand, you can able to follow it. Because like these are the, I mean, you can see like most of the common questions. They, if they want to, interviews want to test the basic knowledge about the Angular application, or like whether you have really worked on the project or not, they will ask all these things. I mean, what is package.json, and what is the basic the folder structure, and how exactly it is going to compile from one file to another file, and all those things.
Sir, I have one more question,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah. Tell me.
Sir, like, so in package.json, it won't contain any of our third party packages or libraries like Bootstrap, Popper, these kind of things. Only Angular.json contains all these things.
No, actually, in the package.json, it will contains about the third-party libraries information. I mean, what does this mean? Means like I'll show you. So, for example, um, if I want to run my Angular project, or the if I want to use the Bootstrap, here I will get the, for example, at the rate Bootstrap and its version, I will get the version. I mean,
Okay, sir.
once if you install the Bootstrap, it will add here. But the thing was, if I want to use the Bootstrap classes or Bootstrap CSS, we need to provide the path. I mean, so once if you install the Bootstrap, what it happens, it will downloads to the node modules, right?
Node modules. Yes,
it,
node
it will
modules.
add to the node modules. So next, I mean, in the angular.json, we need to provide the path. For example, we need to provide the path like I mean node modules slash bootstrap slash dist. So like this, we need to provide this path in the angular.json, and we need to restart the application. Then only we can able to access the bootstrap classes and the bootstrap components. So anyhow, don't worry. Like I'm going to explain you this in the further class. Like I'm going to show you how to add the bootstrap to our Angular application and how we are going to use the different class in the bootstrap.
Okay, got it, sir.
Guys, anyone is having any questions on the today's session? So I mean, if we don't have any questions, means like we can wind up the session, and tomorrow we'll see in detail about the component and the module, and I mean how to add the bootstrap to our Angular project.
Okay, sir.
Guys, one request for like everyone, please do the practice. Like I mean, just try to install all the required software in your machine, and just try to create the project in your machine. Just try to run. So if you do by your own, no, so sometimes like you may be getting the some errors. So in the real time also you'll get the similar kind of errors. So I mean, once if you solve by your own, or like if we have any doubts, you can ping me on WhatsApp. So basically in the morning, like I'll be busy with my office work. So you can if you have any questions, you can ping through WhatsApp. I can answer like within like 20, I mean half an hour or 1 hour. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah, bye. So
Sir,
I'll be
because
sharing the.
it's very, this workflow is very difficult to understand, but by attending this session, I come to know very easily.
Yeah, basically, I mean, so once if you know the proper, I mean, the proper way how it, I mean, executes, no, it will be very easy. And I mean, once if you start practicing and start doing the things, I mean, once, for example, now I want to implement one to-do list kind of thing. So, I mean, once first we need to check like what are all the things we need to do the, I mean, required for the to-do list. So I mean, I have seen so many people, because I mean, I have seen so many people. They will be having a good knowledge on HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and the Angular, but they were not aware of like, I mean, they know the all the concepts. They know the Angular, JavaScript functions, arrays, and objects, but they were not unaware of, I mean, how to put all those things into one place, and to convert this as a one basic task or like one basic application. Like I have seen like most of the developers or most of the people are failing to keep the all those, to connect all those concepts into a single piece of code or like single piece of application. So this is where they are really struggling. So I mean, once if you attend this I mean this Angular 13 training, so you definitely like at the end of the training, you can I'll make sure that like you can definitely create the some sample Angular projects, or you can create one live project also by your own. So if you practice daily, definitely you can achieve. I am sure that. And once you learn this Angular training course, and you can add some like 2 to 3 years experience to the your resume, and you can try for the jobs also. I mean, I will not say like if you will get like 4 to 5 years or 4 to 6 years, at least you can get like for 2 to 3 years you can manage it. The main thing was the practice. That's it. That's all I can say.
Sir, if you have time, sir, do you have time?
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, like what is these unit testing cases? Means we, for entire modules we have to write the separate functions, and then we have to test that cases, sir.
Correct. So for example, uh, we have the SRC, right? We have the app component, right? So inside
Okay.
the app component, we have this app.speak.py. I mean, for each, not the modules, we are going to write the unit test cases for the components, services, and directives. Now this is the one app component, right? So for
Okay,
this
sir.
app component, I am going to write the unit test for this. I mean, what for example, I have written one function called add function here. So I need to write the unit test cases for this one inside the app.component.spec.ts. So anyhow, I'll explain like all this in the next class.
Okay, okay, sir.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so you'll be sharing the interview questions in WhatsApp group, right?
Yeah.
Regarding
I'll be sharing the interview questions. I'll do one thing for 2 to 3 classes. I have all the interview questions, but I just want to share based on the each session. So I will share the interview questions for like 2 to 3 sessions. So it can be helpful to everyone. So I just want you people to prepare your own answers. I mean, instead of by having answers from the internet. So if you prepare on your own, no, it will be good to explain in our interview also. Prepare your own answers and try to practice and try to explain in a similar way. Yeah, definitely I'm going to post the interview questions in the WhatsApp group, interview questions, and I'm going to share the this video also.
PPT also please share, sir.
Yeah, sure. I'll share. I'll do one thing. Videos. I mean, instead of posting in the WhatsApp group, no, I will do one thing. I will post all these videos in my drive, and I will give the access to you people because I have all your email IDs, right? I'll give the access so that you can access from the Google Drive.
Yeah, that's good, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much,
guys.
sir.
Thank you. Yeah. Bye.